The V-moda Remix is V-moda's first Bluetooth speaker, and just like the V-moda Crossfade 2 wireless, I feel it's a very specific type of product for a very specific type of consumer. If you didn't know by now, I'm actually doing a giveaway for the V-moda Crossfade 2 wireless, so go watch that video so you know how to enter after you're done watching this video. The V-moda Remix comes in two very different finishes. You can either get the aluminum version like I have here, or you can also get one that's wrapped in black vegan leather. And if you really wanted to, you can also customize the Remix with gold 3D printed sides and seashells that will easily raise the price of the Remix into the thousands. But for your base model, it'll cost you $300, or like 1.25 Litecoins. I'll have links in the description below if you want to pick either of the speakers showed off in this video with the best prices, and if you use either of the links, it really helps out the channel. The V-moda Remix comes included with two sets of what they're calling remix rings. They're essentially high-density rubber bands that prevent the Remix from shaking your table when the bass really gets going, and they help keep the speaker in place. The Remix also comes included with a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable, which measures in at 79 inches long, and it also comes included with a 55-inch braided audio cable. Personally, I like the design of the aluminum Remix. It has a sophisticated look that will look very much in place in an office setting, and I think it looks great next to my iMac, but I prefer to use the red Remix ring so that it has a little pop of color. On the top of the speaker, you have your control button so you can play or pause your music, raise or lower the volume, skip a track or go back a track, and if you press and hold, you'll activate your voice assistant. Although the buttons have very good tactile feedback, I just wish the buttons were a little raised or had some texture to them so you can know what button you're pressing without looking. And on the back of the speaker, you have your USB Type-C port for charging, an aux in, and aux out, and I'll go into detail what VAMP is in a minute. Concerning technical specifications, the Remix is rocking a 3400 mAh battery that has averaged 11.5 hours of playback time for me while set at a medium volume. Wireless range is pretty average with most other speakers on the market with a range of 30 feet, and it can be connected to two devices at the same time. And under the hood, the V-moda Remix has dual transducers and a dual passive radiator setup very similar to what you would find on the JBL Flip 4 or Sony XB20. First up, I just want to put it out there that the V-moda Remix does not get all that loud. At max volume, the Remix is as loud as the JBL Flip 4 at 80% volume. And at max volume, the Remix does suffer a considerable amount of distortion. Plainly said, if you want a speaker that gets really loud, then the Remix isn't for you. The V-moda Remix sounds its best when used at a low to moderate listening volume, and the amount of bass the Remix has for its size is what impressed me the most. But even with the amount of bass the speaker has, it still has surprisingly very well defined mids and vocals, which is a very pleasant surprise because most other bass-heavy speakers just end up pushing back the mids and vocals, most notably the Google Home and the Google Home Max, and especially the UE Blast and Mega Blast. Those just don't have mids at all. Now, what's really special about the V-moda Remix is the built-in headphones app, and this is the main reason why the Remix now has a permanent spot on my desk, and it's very simple to use. You plug your audio source in the aux in on the Remix, you then plug your headphones into the VAMP jack and press the multi-purpose button, and you're done. Instantly, the sound quality of your headphones dramatically improves. Everything sounds crisper, you hear details that just aren't audible when used with a Bluetooth connection with your headphones, or even with a wired connection directly to your device without the use of the Remix. And the headphones also get significantly louder. And the built-in headphones app doesn't just work with V-moda's headphones, it'll work with any pair of headphones. And here's the microphone test, and unfortunately, it's not the best. But I do feel the microphone on the V-moda Remix does sound better than the microphone on the V-moda Crossfade 2 wireless. But this audio clip is being recorded by the microphone on the V-moda Remix, so you could be the judge of that. So to wrap things up, the V-moda remix is a hard sell, but it does have some really good things going for it. I feel the remix is just meant to live on your desk. It looks really good in an office, but I personally wouldn't take it anywhere else. It's not waterproof, and I would hate to damage the aluminum finish. It sounds really good when played at lower volumes, but its max volume does leave something to be desired. The built-in headphones app is a very neat feature that I have been using a lot, but the $300 price tag still makes the remix hard to justify. If you have the money and you like higher quality materials, you won't be disappointed. But if you're a college kid on a tighter budget, I'd suggest you look elsewhere. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt. And I'll catch you next time.